Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Africa, modern day. A poacher lifts his gun at a rhino. Pow! He fires. Just a few days later, the same poacher sits by the side of the road waiting. Vroom, vroom. A park ranger drives by in search of a missing rhino. The poacher shoots him dead, leaving him. The poacher shoots him, leaving him for dead beside the roadside.
India, modern day. A hungry elephant roams into a farming village. It destroys crops and homes. It injures 3 people and kills 1. Later that day, a few miles away, it does similar damage to another village. 3 days later, the angry villagers find the elephant and kill it.
Hi, my name is Roy, and I'm a member of the Polymax, a team of 9 and 10-year-olds from Fairfield County, Connecticut. The stories Zachary and Max just shared with you are taken from real-life examples of problems with poaching and retaliation. In the next few minutes, Danny will give you a sense of the scale of the problem, and Noah will describe how he researched it and came up with our solution. Then, we will all describe our solution.
Across the continent of Africa, the number of African elephants poached between 2007 and 2014 grew by 9,000% from 13 to a record of 1,215. In South Africa alone, in the past 3 years, the number of rhinos poached for their ivory is 100,000. Issues of property destruction and accidental deaths are on the rise as humans take over more and more of the animal's habitat.
Each member of the team researched a different problem, and then we all came together to choose one. To make sure we had realistic ideas, we talked to Eric Becker from the World Wildlife Protection Team, and he helped us, we interviewed him over Skype, and he helped us zone in on new ideas for poaching and retaliation. Our solution is the Nature Defender system, which consists of an app and some sensors that feed into a database. The sensors include license plate monitors to, like if a car passes too slowly through a road through National Park to alert authorities, gunshot detectors that will be placed in National Parks to detect gunshots, and an app that lets people report situations that they see. They all go into a main screen database.
Our license plate detector scans and records the movement of vehicles through parks using a night vision camera attached to a Raspberry Pi computer module, computer board with GPS and cellular modules. It takes a picture of the license plate, records it into a database, and then if the times take longer than it would simply be to drive through the park, then an alert is fired in the app.
Our gunshot detector is designed to detect sounds that could potentially be gunshots and then record them to our database.
Using MIT App Inventor, we created an app that lets the users report suspected poaching activity or a potential animal threat by simply clicking on the related button and providing a small amount of information, such as whether the event is still happening, if not currently happening, when it happened, if they found a wounded animal, or information that would help the park ranger find the situation.
This app will allow villagers to report poaching problems from their iPhone or mobile device. And although our prototype is only for the Android, we hope to develop it for iOS and the web next. Here's a prototype. Here.
So you just hit that and you can do it.
And besides learning so much about the animal research, about animal poaching / research, and so much our research about poaching and retaliation, we learned how to combine simple technologies to solve complex problems, and we learned to build applications to help collecting and storing data.
Thanks for your attention
And for volunteering
All of your time.
To share in what we've
learned and developed.
That's it.
And if you have any questions after you comment to us.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Nice job. So we do have some questions.
Okay.
You guys have lots of these interesting prototypes. How did you figure out how to do all this?
Well, I usually work with me and my dad work with Raspberry Pi and stuff all the time. So we had a bunch of those parts and then we put them together, and there's this thing called GitHub where you can copy the code from other people and it's allowed, and then other people can work on it. And we got it from so we got the code for the camera from GitHub, and
me and Roy. Well, I've actually done some. So we used MIT App Inventor, and I've done Random Hacks of Kindness, which we used the MIT App Inventor. So I knew a little bit about that, and me and Roy were like kind of the main ones.
Yeah. And so the sensors include off-the-shelf things that you can simply get at hardware stores. While most sensors like that are placed throughout national parks are military grade and are very expensive. And so we tried to create simple technologies that would help solve these problems. And the other people that we talked to, as Noah said, Patricia Gans.
She does
Random Acts of Kindness, which is basically using MIT App Inventor to create a simple app
for
for
nonprofits.
And we also talked to Eric Becker from the World Wildlife Federation. He's one of the people, and like basically one of the people who are in charge of the World Wildlife Federation's wildlife protection team.
Yeah, and we also.
And Mrs. Gans was also me, Roy, and Zachary's computer teacher a few years ago, so we knew her.
Okay. Cool.
Any other questions?
When you say, you mentioned sensors in the national park, so these types of things exist, but your idea was coming with a lower cost solution?
Not exactly.
Rarely they exist. I mean, they are
The
rare.
gun stop, they use some different sensors, but they have not used a license plate detector through the highways in the parks yet, and that app obviously is not made yet.
Yeah, and some of our first ideas were using sensors in the ground that would detect poachers with
Or
heat
drones.
sensors, and drones with heat sensors on them. So this is not our original.
And they're doing some drone
Yeah,
things.
so
Okay.
Eric
But
Becker told
there's
us.
one problem with the heat sensor drones is people could use those for
Heat
shock,
blankets.
like heat blankets for when you're in shock. They can hide behind those.
Yeah, Eric Becker
It
told us
deflects
about
the
that.
heat rays.
So we went with this idea, which we really like.
We hope to make it big.
Make it work.
Have you guys thought about how many of these kind of sensors you would have to deploy to a park to?
Well,
Yeah, lots of them.
To
That's why
cover.
they're low cost.
yeah.
We haven't thought about
Yeah.
the exact number yet. We haven't tried to research that yet,
Right.
but
Yeah.
we might do that.
But you acknowledge that it would have to be lots, but you feel
Yeah.
that it's okay because they're low cost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Yes,
one
but the Raspberry Pis are like $5 per the board, and then you can do
Like
almost
$10.
anything on $5.
$10,
And then you can do
things on-
anything on them.
Yeah.
And so, the license plate sensors we would only need about 4 for parks, one going one way of the road and the other going the other. So that's
really
very
depends how
simple.
many roads are going through the
Yeah.
national park.
And the app we only need one of, so that's the thing that we wouldn't really need a lot of.
I have a question for your app. Is this an app that would be free for anyone to use, or would you make it like a low?
Completely free.
Yeah.
We would
Because it's
fund.
not like people are gonna pay to report stuff like
We're
that.
not
Yeah, if anything, we'd be
Because it's
saying
not like
that.
a game. We're not looking for money. It's just
Yeah, it's because we want to do something good for the world. And then another thing, the reason because it's so low cost, even if we did deploy thousands of these, maybe 100 of these little low cost sensors would add up to maybe
to like
one.
200.
to-
It's not that much.
It would add up to like one super expensive sensor that we use right now. So that would make it super feasible.
One quick question. Did you guys share, besides the experts that you mentioned, did you share your idea with anybody else?
Yeah. We shared it,
Our
me,
class.
Zachary, and Roy shared it with our class.
Yeah,
Um,
that's not really professional.
It's not about professional, it's about sharing it with the world.
And some of my, like, our
Getting it
friends
out
we
there.
told.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and our teacher, Mr. Comstock, he asked if he could have Eric Becker's like contact information, so we might.
Yeah, because
We have
he
a
wants
smart
to
board.
have an interview with our whole
Yeah,
class.
because
Yeah,
we're
so-
doing an endangered animal. We at the beginning of the year, every year we research one endangered animal and then we share it with our class. And we pick one and then we adopt it. We get a small stuffed animal of it, and it goes around. Everybody gets to share an experience with it. And so, if we could talk to him, he's with the society where we mainly research our stuff. So it's like pretty cool if we would get to talk to him,
Yeah.
whole class.
Yeah.
That's great.
And he said maybe even we could get some of the middle schoolers from our school. That would be pretty cool.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
guys.
Oh, thank you, good job.
I hope you guys have a great time today.
Thank you.
And don't forget to take all your really cool gadgets here.
Yeah, really.
Good job, thanks.
Here.
Thank
You got your hands full. Nobody, we don't want anybody dropping
I have
anything.
all of this.
So,
Don't forget your phone on the
Thank you.
board.
Oh,
yeah,
it's just
your
your
coach's
phone.
phone. You can just grab it.